Look at your hands. Clench them into fists. Squeeze them as hard as you can. Feel the tension rising up your forearms. Feel your fingernails digging into your palms. Feel the energy it takes just to hold this position. Now, imagine that what you are holding inside that fist is your life. It is your past relationships, your reputation, your regrets, your desperate need for things to stay exactly as they are. You are holding on so tight that your knuckles are turning white. You are bleeding, but you refuse to open your fingers because you are terrified that if you let go, you will lose everything. You think this grip is keeping you safe. You think this tension is what holds your world together, but you are wrong. This grip is not saving you. It is the very thing that is drowning you. You are exhausted, not because the world is heavy, but because you are carrying it all in a clenched fist. We start this year, like every year, with a desire for the new. We want new habits, new achievements, new love. But the Stoics, the ancient architects of the human soul, would tell us that we are approaching this backward. You cannot fill a cup that is already full of stale water. You cannot embrace the future while your arms are wrapped tightly around the corpse of the past. We talk constantly about getting things, but we rarely talk about the art of letting them go. And yet, Epictetus, the philosopher who owned nothing, not even his own body for much of his life, taught that the root of all human suffering is not in the events that befall us, but in our attachment to how we think things should be. We suffer because we try to freeze time. We suffer because we fall in love with the scenery of our journey and try to take it home with us, forgetting that we are just travelers passing through. Let us explore the anatomy of this suffering. Why is it so hard to let go? Why do we mourn a relationship that ended years ago? Why do we obsess over a mistake we made at work last week? It is because we confuse having with being. We build our identity out of external things. You say, I am a husband. I am a successful manager. I am a respected member of this community. You glue these labels to your soul. And when the universe, in its inevitable flux, rips one of those labels away when the divorce happens, when the layoff comes, you feel as though you are dying, but you are not dying. Only the costume you are wearing is being removed. Seneca, a man who was one of the richest in Rome and yet stood ready to lose it all at a moment's notice, gave us a powerful reframe. He said, "Fortune takes back nothing but what she gave. Everything you have, your house, your family, your health, your status is on loan. You are not the owner, you are the steward." Imagine you are staying in a beautiful hotel room. You enjoy the view, the soft bed, the paintings on the wall, but you do not cry when you check out. You do not try to strap the furniture to your back and carry it with you. You know it was never yours. Life is that hotel. We are guests. Our suffering comes from the delusion that we are the landlords. We scream at the universe, "This is mine." And the universe, gently but firmly, pries our fingers open to show us that nothing is ours except our character. There is a terrifying but liberating practice in Stoicism called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. But let's call it the practice of the broken cup. Epictetus said, when you are delighted with anything, be it a useful tool or a beloved child, remember to tell yourself what its nature is. If you are fond of a porcelain cup, say to yourself, I am fond of a cup that is brittle and can break. Then, when it breaks, you will not be disturbed. This sounds cold to modern ears. It sounds unfeeling, but look deeper. It is the exact opposite of coldness. When you acknowledge that the cup is already broken, that its destruction is written into its very existence, you do not love it less. You love it more. You cherish it right now, in this second, because you know it is not permanent. Attachment creates anxiety. We are so busy worrying about losing what we love that we forget to actually love it while it is here. We are so terrified of the end of the movie that we miss the best scenes. The Stoic way of letting go is not about indifference. It is about loving without clutching. It is about holding a bird in your open palm. If it stays, it stays. If it flies away, it flies away. You do not crush it with your grip. This is the difference between true love and possession. Possession says, "You must exist for me." Love says, "I am grateful you exist at all, for however long that may be." But the hardest thing to let go of is not an object or a person. It is a version of yourself. We are haunted by the ghosts of who we used to be, or who we thought we would be by now. You are walking around with a backpack full of rocks labeled regret. You replay conversations from 10 years ago. You punish yourself for not knowing then what you know now. This is a form of arrogance. You are arguing with reality. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who could have had anything but chose wisdom, wrote, "Think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now take what's left and live it properly. Think of yourself as dead." It is a shocking phrase, but it is the ultimate permission to let go. The person who made those mistakes? Gone. The person who was hurt? Gone. The past is a foreign country. You don't live there anymore. Every morning, the sun rises on a new world. The only reason the old world still hurts you is because you are dragging its corpse into the new day. You are stitching the dead skin of the past onto the living body of the present. Stop it. Let the dead bury the dead. You are here, now, breathing this air, facing this challenge. You are free. To practice letting go, you must understand the nature of the flux. Heraclitus, the philosopher who inspired the Stoics, said, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river, and he's not the same man." Everything changes. Relationships change. Bodies age. Empires fall. This isn't a tragedy. It's the rhythm of the cosmos. Attachment is the refusal to dance to this rhythm. It is standing still on a moving walkway and screaming because your feet are being dragged. To let go is to lift your feet. It is to surrender to the flow, not in defeat, but in wisdom. It is to say, "I accept that this chapter is over. I am ready for the next page." Imagine you are swimming in a vast ocean. If you try to grab the water, to hold a piece of the ocean in your hands, it slips through your fingers. You struggle, you panic, you sink. But if you relax, if you open your hands and spread your arms, the water supports you. It buoys you up. This is the paradox of control. The more you try to control the external world, the more you drown. The more you let go, the more you float. The Stoic finds safety not in building walls to keep things in, but in tearing down the walls so that nothing can be trapped. So, how do you do this? How do you actually let go? You start by loosening the fist. When you feel that familiar spike of anxiety, that desperate need to check your phone, to fix someone else's problem, to reread that old text message, stop, pause, look at your mental hand, see how tight it is, and gently, consciously, open a finger. Say to yourself, "I do not own this. This is not me." If someone leaves you, repeat the words of Epictetus, "I have returned them." If you lose money, I have returned it. If your youth fades, I have returned it. It was never yours. It was the universe experiencing itself through you for a brief, shimmering moment. Be grateful for the loan. Do not resent the collection. The ultimate freedom lies in realizing that you are not the things you have accumulated. You are the space in which those things exist. You are the sky, and your possessions, your relationships, your traumas, they are just clouds. Clouds can be dark, they can be heavy, they can bring storms, but they can never harm the sky. The sky allows them to pass. The sky lets go of every cloud, and in doing so, it remains vast, untouched, and eternal. Take a deep breath. Feel the air filling your lungs. Now exhale. Notice that to take the next breath, you must let go of the one you just took. If you tried to hold on to that breath forever, you would suffocate. Life is a series of exhales. We are constantly dying to the moment that just passed, so that we can be born into the moment that is arriving. Don't be afraid of the emptiness that comes when you let go. That emptiness is not a void. It is a vacuum waiting to be filled with reality. It is space for new growth. It is the silence where you can finally hear your own soul. You are standing on the edge of a new era of your life. Drop the heavy bags. Unclench the white-knuckled fists. Look at your open palms. They are empty, and because they are empty, they are ready to receive everything. You possess nothing, and that is why you are free.